Come, hear the tale of our ragtag crew, brought together upon a mysterious island by fate. They have lost, they have won, and now, alongside a rebel faction, the truth on the wind, they fight against the evil Eterwines. Behind it all, an alien being of immeasurable power begins to rise once again. As the land grows cold, our party stands as a light in the darkness. Now, welcome to the Swordcast Adventures.
Last time on the Swordcast Adventures, we returned from the Basilica, and after informing the Stone Guardians they could return to their home, we settled in to rest for the evening. As the others slept, I found a page in my book that wasn't there before. I studied it as much as I could before we broke camp the next morning to begin our hike back to Oceanshade. It detailed the use of magics contained within the book that would allow me to sever death's grasp should I see it come for someone. I just needed them to add their name to it. When we made camp the next evening, and again as the others slept, I pored through the text just to make sure I understood it as much as possible. As the others rose the next morning, I told them what I had found to the best of my abilities, and one by one had them add their names to the book. We broke camp once again and pressed on, passing by the small village with a giant problem and making it to Oceanshade just as night fell. We were already quite the sight, having the large head of the dragon in tow, but of course Grimtuck did what he does best and turned it into a spectacle. We spoke with Callus, and he insisted on having a party in our honor after we discussed our next move with him. Looks like another boisterous night of celebrating is ahead before we can leave this place. It seems strange to be celebrating so often with what is at stake.
So you all find yourself sitting around the large map that Callus had laid out for you, discussing a few possibilities on where to go next and where to move forward in your plans. Another round is called for by Callus as a set of mugs are brought over and he kind of looks at you all and goes, "Aye. So, again, the crew should be ready, as I said before. And really now it's just figuring out where you're going next. Obviously you can stay here if you want, but you seem to be you seem to be on quite a tight schedule. I can offer as much information as I have. Again, I've sailed these seas a little bit longer than you."
Well, Callus, question for you. Is there a good spot back in the main island where we might drop anchor that would not attract too much attention to ourselves? We are trying to avoid some of the governance over there.
Well, I guess it all depends on what part you're going to. Really, there's a few parts on the small stretches of land on the kind of northern edge of the island that you could get away with parking your ship out there. Though the sea's a little choppy on that side. But it isn't impossible. Again, the desert on the west, as he kind of points over to a slightly lighter colored area on the map on the western side of the main island. He goes, "From what I hear, there's been a little bit of hostile takeover in Old Keep, so there, again, you might be able to drop anchor there above it before you get too close to it, but you're then stuck mid-desert, and find your way through that would be a little something."
Isn't that where the archive thing is?
What?
In the desert?
What's the what do you mean?
I don't know, I thought there was like a thing out there in the middle of the desert.
I don't think Callus is familiar.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Something called an archive. I'm not quite sure what it means.
In the desert? Why would someone put an archive in the desert?
Dude, they put a lot of weird shit in the desert, but everything in Docatur is weird. So, I don't really know. I kind of want to go kill slavers, but I understand if we don't really need to do that right now. I'll just let everybody know that that's my vote, if that is a vote. But Elduin's likely our best choice for a navigator. Unless, of course, you know of any smuggling routes or anything like that that would give us safer passage than others.
I mean, specific smuggling routes, no, but there are definitely a few, let's say, unoccupied towns along the way that you could stop off at and not have to really worry about. Things like, well, if you're going on the north side, it's getting a little close to Old Man Ederwine's castle, but Crystalbrook, it's a small farm town, but it harbors any of our kind that need it. There's also, if you go closer to the northwest, past this, and he points to the northern point, he points to what is labeled on the map Winterwind, and goes, that is a place to be away from. I hear it's a battalion stronghold, one where a lot of their ships come out of. But up here, and he points just a little ways north of the map, up the large, like, kind of arm to the northeast. He goes, here, it's a small fishing village. They don't get a lot of traffic, but they're definitely not going to call the Ederwines and let them know you're here. If you're looking to get back on the mainland without being seen by anyone of real import.
And which city is that he points out?
Stormhaven, which is a slightly northeast of that kind of, like, large extension above.
And so we were talking about getting the breathing apparatus like we had in our previous visions was one of our mission goals that we were discussing. We were discussing getting the sword of the old pirate kings. That was another one of the things that we were talking about. Mm-hmm. And then what were the other ones that we were discussing last time for mission objectives?
It's called the Verdant Catacomb. It is where it is an old temple dedicated to the god of elves that has fallen. It fell to Limerick years ago.
Okay. And where's that again?
That is...
So the Copsewood tree is underneath Esterden, kind of on the northwest corner, of the main island of Dr.
That looks like the closest one.
It is, by all rights, the closest.
Grimtuck wants to go kill slavers, but Elijah likes the efficiency of the fucking Verdant Catacombs. I'm gonna bow out of this decision making one. I'm gonna let you guys decide. I've already voiced my fucking opinion.
Again, the ship is yours. You can do whatever you want with it, wherever you decide to go. Understand, though, you get caught by the Ederwines, or the battalion, and it's not like the cavalry is going to come to save you right off the bat.
What if we were more efficient? What if we went to Stormhaven, and then we could hit the Verdant Catacombs on the way back? I don't really want to break into Ederwine's stronghold at this time, but I think if we have a little more resources behind us, I think we could do that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really want them knowing that we have a ship and what the ship looks like yet.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Because we tend to make a fucking scene.
It also doesn't help that is effectively one of their ships as well.
I mean, yeah, we probably got to get a paint job on this bitch.
So what if we do this? We leave Oceanshade, and we sail across to Stormhaven, which is near Cairdarum, and then on our way back, we can land here in Crystalbrook, or near Crystalbrook, get what we need done there at the Verdant Catacombs, and then we leave again. Maybe return to the Firelit Thicket via Oswald. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's as close to a plan as we're ever going to have, and it's probably going to change halfway through. So yeah, I say fuck it, let's go for it.
Amelia's going to chime in. She's going to point at the map just above the desert at the coast, and she's going to say, might it be safer if we park a ship here and march into the catacombs? Stay as far away from the garrison as possible.
Don't we have a crew that we need to at least think of some accommodations for? Leaving them stranded in the middle of nowhere is not exactly what they might enjoy.
Oh, they live on the ship.
We have the ship stocked with supplies beforehand.
Yes,
we leave them out there manning the ship. They come in and swoop us, pick us up.
You're talking about a crew of idle pirates. Do you think they will stay put?
I know for a fucking fact they will.
We'll be paying them coin well enough that they'll stay put.
And if they run, they fucking die. So, there's rules to this shit. You'll get used to it when you're on the sea, Elduin. Like, there's a hierarchy, and then, like, trust me, just follow along. You
all right, if you say that there is honor among pirates, but I thought of them more as a rabble.
You're talking, Callus and I are sitting right here. Like, we're right here at the table with you.
I'm just saying that you are opening my eyes somewhat. I apologize for thinking low of you.
Callus just kind of scoots back in his chair, putting his feet on the edge of the seat, because he's now fully in it. Just sitting there drinking his drink, just like...
Oh, no offense, no offense. I am sure you're a very effective ruler. I only meant that I figured that your presence was strong when it comes to discipline.
Don't worry about it, Callus. Two things. One, he's not used to talking this much, what with the whole mask thing, so he's just kind of getting used to it. And secondly, really, he just doesn't really understand how, pirates function, which is definitely not steal the boat and fucking run away the second the captain leaves the ship. It's an investment opportunity.
Generally speaking, someone isn't going to take over the ship for just being stranded on board for a couple of days.
I admit that most of my knowledge about pirates comes from a light reading of Alamaka the Bloody, but it seems that the truth is more tame than fiction.
I mean, good fish tales they all are, but and don't worry, we get bloody as well, but there's a bit more honor among pirates than you might expect.
Remember, we are trying to get them to help us fight the Edderwines, so I should hope there would be honor among them.
Common enemy and all that.
Exactly. Good point, Amelia.
Well then, shall we vote? Should we head to Stormhaven or the desert? Seems like these two are the most appropriate.
Well, we need to go to both, but I think take the long road before we take the short road.
Rain, what say you?
That's true, Rain. You have been very quiet.
I think my vote's for Stormhaven. It makes a lot of sense to me to do the most traveling now while stuff isn't super urgent. Not that it's not urgent, but, get the long travel out of the way, work our way back.
Stormhaven. I'm all for it.
All
That's
right.
my vote.
Stormhaven.
Aye.
Where we believe we are of an accord.
Hear, hear.
Here, here.
When do we leave?
You hear just a bunch of pirates behind you go, here, here.
Get used to that. It happens a lot.
Also makes the most sense of me to do that length of travel while we know we have a full crew.
That's true. I believe we were going to pay homage to Umberlee and to Talos, if I recall.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
On the morrow.
On the morrow.
Right. Well, now that that's been decided, I'm going to take my leave of you all.
Oh, yeah? Where are you going?
I must study.
He kind of stops you just really quick. Metolius, just give it a sec. A moment before you leave. Do know that your travel should take about, if you're going over to Stormhaven, 2.5 days from here. Should get you there just fine. But plan accordingly, as it were. So, whatever you choose to do in Oceanshade, the town is open to you. But you still got some travel ahead of you if you're trying to get over there.
Maybe we should try to leave by noon tomorrow. That way...
I like it. Sooner the better.
All right. Well, I'll see you all in the morning.
All right.
Metolius leaves the table with book in tow, but you all still sit around. Callus kind of takes the map and rolls it up and goes, that's enough talk about planning and dealings. There's more time to drink now. And as he does, he snaps his fingers, and a couple of people run over with full bottles, corked, and place them on the table. I think now it's time for something a little harder. And yeah, he takes one and just puts the cork in his mouth and pops it off and just starts drinking it, passing it around. Not gonna lie, when I saw you all come in that first time, before, the fires started, I kind of just thought you were going to, I don't know, make a sight of yourself, annoy me, and then get run out of town. Many have done that. But it's nice to know that we have someone like yourselves on our side. And I hope you understand. And he kind of starts passing around the bottles as he does, that you also have us on your side, as far as, our reach goes.
Much obliged. Thank you. Happy to count ourselves among you. And, you're a funny little spit fuck. I gotta hand it to you. You and the rest of these, upstarts. I love every one of you. Let's get pissed drunk and, regale each other with stories of slaying monsters and stealing shit.
I mean, that's pretty much what I do every night, so yeah, let's continue doing that.
It's a good life.
I'd love to hear more about I'd love to hear more about how that dragon fell.
We will go on and on to great detail.
We haven't even gotten a chance to tell it yet.
Yeah, I figure the bottles are passed. The time goes by. Callus keeps up with you, as he does. And yeah, is there anything anyone wishes to do before the night?
I do. At some point in the night, I would kind of lean over to Callus and just say, hey, kind of lean outside real quick, or kind of nod outside a little bit. Say, let me get a word with you in private.
He kind of looks at you and goes, okay, not a problem.
So with that, I'll just grab a bottle and saunter my ass outside.
He joins you. He kind of hops down, makes sure that everyone is doing well, and follows you out.
Once I'm pretty much look around and make sure that nobody else is around us, I'm gonna reach into my bag and I am gonna pull out the dragon coin of Demisia's, and I'm gonna flip it to him. I'm gonna say, what can you tell me about that?
Kind of looks it over, rolls it through his fingers a few times, and takes a bite on it, and goes, well, it looks like the Black Network to me. I recognize that symbol anywhere.
Who the fuck are they?
Well, mostly mainland dealings. Let's just say they're ne'er-do-wells who like to make sure their presence is the most intrepid underground presence to be there.
They got a power base out here in Dakatur at all?
Not to my knowledge, though it's not the first time I've seen this coin or symbol come around. They don't stay long. And again, there isn't really much out on these islands. We're quite small here. And I swear I'll cut your throat if you make a joke about that.
I was going to, but then you beat me to it. No. All right. Might be I'm looking for some of them, or a lot of them, or any of them that are out here. So if you hear anything, maybe find a way to drop me a line.
I have my ways.
I figured.
I definitely will let you know. Generally speaking, do you know the faction's name, other than what I just said?
I thought it was the Black Network.
It's the Zentarum.
Huh. And they're like spies, or mercenaries, or
a little of both mixed in with a bit of assassination.
That checks out. All right. Well,
they're
thanks.
very tight knit though. Usually they very much keep to their faction. Do you know where you got this from?
Might be they're after someone I care about, and maybe they're trying to make sure that person doesn't make it back home. So, mostly just keeping an eye out.
Well, do that.
And if I were to find out any of them were in Dakatur, maybe they wouldn't make it back home.
I keep my ears to the ground.
Much appreciation. And I'll
flip it back to him.
Tight. And with that, share a healthy swig of this bottle, and pass it back to him, and make our way back inside.
Yeah. Gallus walks back inside, and a few of his men around just kind of pull him away into a few drinks and things like that, and revelry as the night goes on. Actually, by this point, and well into a few bottles, I think Silence and a few of the main crew come in and join the partying. Grabs a drink at the bar and kind of passes it around. Finds you all at the table and kind of sits down. Silence sits next to Amelia, and the rest kind of like spread around and go, "Sorry I'm so late. If I knew I was celebrating you all, I would have come sooner. But I guess, can I offer a cheers? Maybe
Here, here.
Here, here.
Raise my glass.
She kind of like raises her glass and cheers everyone, and leans over to Amelia, whispers in her ear, just goes, "I'm never gonna get used to that." Maybe like cheersing everybody. And goes, "Yeah, I think all the repairs should be done tomorrow, so I'm heading back to the thicket as soon as we can."
Well, we're heading off on our ship, and yeah, tell everyone back at the thicket that we said hello. Also, we kind of reclaimed your ancestral home, but kind of didn't, so it's there when you want it. But other people live in it, kind of. So yeah, I'm counting this as like still a kind of success.
Well, you're alive, and that's a big important part. And the creature's dead, and that's a big important part. And y'all have a ship now, so that's pretty good as well. I'm sad you're not traveling back on my ship, but I understand that you all have this important mission to go on, whatever it may be. It seems to be something well above our, should we say, pay grade.
Yeah, well, you're welcome to join us anytime you want. Proved yourself a capable captain, and you can hold your booze really well, amongst other things.
And she holds out her glass and goes, "And cheers to that. I'm needed back at Firelight. It's generally important for me to check in as often as possible, just in case they need anything. I'm heading back there, but pretty sure I'll see you all again, being that you're not going to be strangers now."
Of course not. I'm sure you have ways to get in touch. And it's our last night in town. Maybe, you and Amelia should have a drink about it. And I'll kind of push Amelia a little bit towards Silence, just a bit.
She's just gonna shout out, "I'm sure there's plenty of drinks to be had. It's a night for celebration."
I think Silence takes a bottle off the table and kind of leans over to Amelia and just like pours a bit in her cup. And goes, "It's not a bad idea." And yeah, drinks are passed. Stories are told. You all tell Silence about the scourge and all that. I was going to say that by the end of the night, as everyone kind of starts filtering out, I think Silence would take your hand, Amelia, and say, "Want to go finish this last one on the docks?"
Aye.
She just like, she brings you out. Kind of walks you through, bottle in hand, and she leads you out to the middle of the docks, leads you down the street and through this all, and you can see that right at the moment, the main dock is in the very center. You actually pass the Temple of Umberlee as you do. It's one that a few ships are actually docked upon, but everyone seems to have gone to sleep. There's only like a few people on watch aboard. And she leads you down to the very front of it. The fog has kind of rolled in by this point at night. But the sky itself is just this pristine, clear sky. The moon is high and full. The stars, millions of tiny white pinpricks. An odd kind of like almost the look of like lace draped through those pinpricks upon the blackness of the sky as you see like galaxies and all this stuff. She kind of sits down and puts her feet over the side and just kind of pats it.
Amelia would sit down next to her.
She kind of looks at she looks out on the water. Now, the port itself, a much clearer place. The little bits of the very tops of the masts of the halberd and the tiger shark kind of poke through, but you see small boats like kind of moving and clearing out the ways as they do. And she goes, "I did not know if I'd see you again after you all went off to fight the dragon. And I'm not going to lie. I think I've had too much booze for that right now. I was a little concerned.
You weren't the only one.
I'm really happy to see you back. And I'm probably equally as sad to know that we're parting ways so quickly again. But what can you do? We're all busy and, taking down tyrannical leaders and all that. It's kind of what you do. A rebellion never really sleeps, does it?
It doesn't seem to, no.
She kind of stops and puts the bottle down between you two. It's not a sad demeanor, but it's definitely like a heavy sigh. And she kind of like leans over and looks at you. Do you mask on, off? How's it?
Well, I'm still in the pirate garb, so it looks like I'm not wearing a mask, but I do have my mask on.
She kind of like looks at you, looks over to you and goes, do you mind taking that off for just like a moment, please? Just a moment. She kind of looks around and goes, I don't think anyone will notice.
There would kind of be like a shimmer on Amelia's face, and like her pirate hat would like flicker for a moment as she like pushes the mask up. But then the image would like settle again once she stops like moving through it.
Do you... I don't know why this is so hard to say. I've sailed through dangerous waters. I've fought beasts and men and creatures of all kinds. And right now, I'm shaking. How about this? When you all get back to the Firelight, I think maybe we should rest, just for one night. You and I. What do you think?
You would see Amelia kind of get like a kind of a sad demeanor on her face as well, and she would be looking at Silence and then kind of like break and like look away and kind of like stare out at the water for a second, and then look back at her, and she would say, I would be lying if I said it hadn't crossed my mind. But I don't want to hurt you.
She kind of tilts her head. What do you mean, hurt me? I don't think you're going to hurt me.
I don't even know who I am. I don't know where I came from. I don't know how I ended up on that island. I don't know exactly why I'm here, other than this mission that we're going on. I want to find out all of that, everything, but I also don't know what that's going to mean. I don't know if that's going to hurt anybody. I don't know so many things.
She stops, and you see her stare straight at you. Even if you're looking away. She hasn't broken her gaze once. She kind of like turns her body, leaning one leg up from over the edge of the dock. So her whole form is now facing you, and she goes, I want you to find all of that. Every bit of it. I do. And I don't really know a lot about you, Amelia. Hell, what the hell's, we've only known each other for days now. Weeks, at best. And half the time, both of us have almost died. If helping you find those answers hurts me, then it would be worth it because you found them. I understand. I might be coming off a little strong. I don't know. I want to help you. I want to be here for you. I'd like to see you. And she kind of looks up and down. As much as this is nice, but you as you, and I know you can't right now. But when you can drop this disguise, I'll be there. No matter who is below that, no matter who is there once you figure it all out, I'll be there.
Thank you. Well, I can say that when we do make it back to Violet, I think we would obviously be there for a minute, so I don't see why we couldn't have time for me to be me.
Whoever that is, you know or wish it to be. I think Silence leans in. And I think it's pretty obvious what she's going in to do.
Yeah.
What do you respond?
Amelia would panic, and she would turn just the slightest at the very last second so that Silence hits her cheek, and at the same time a tear would roll down the same cheek against Silence's.
I think she finishes off with a very kind kiss on the cheek.
And Amelia would throw her arms around her.
As kind of lips break off the cheek, you throw her arms and she just pulls you in for a very warm hug.
And then Amelia would leave her arm like around Silence's shoulder, and she would turn back out to the water and like look at the sunken masts from the ships that they destroyed, and she would say, I could only imagine what it must have been like seeing those ships go up in flames without knowing what we were doing.
You can ask the crew. I was quite on the edge of my seat the entire time. They may have had to hold me back a couple of moments, lest I dive in and come find you all. But Amelia, will you do me a favor?
If I'm capable.
Never stop searching until you find that. Until you figure this out. No matter what it brings. Promise.
That I can promise.
I think Silence at that point grabs the bottle between you two, takes a drink, and kind of hands it to you.
Amelia would take a long swig. She'll hand the bottle back, and she'll put the pirate voice back on, and she'll be like, and you should have been there. Me and Rain were swimming through the water as we came up on my first ship, and Amelia just starts to go into like the entire like evening of that, and then and like further details into the whole dragon situation, and just spends as much time as Silence needs to or whatever at the end of the dock telling her about everything that they just did.
I think she listens without saying, like, responding when wanted, but I think she just like hangs on every word. And by the end of it, she kind of stands up and finishes the bottle, tosses it over her shoulder, and say, I think both of us need some rest.
That we do. It's a long day tomorrow for both of us, it sounds like.
That it is. Well. As you get to the edge of the dock, back onto land, sounds just like puts her arm around your shoulder, gives you a very caring hug around it, and goes, "Sleep well. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yes, you will.
And walks off through the fog back to her ship.
And as Amelia walks back to, at this point, probably the Black Princess, she's going to pull her mask back down, and that her disguise will like flash for a second as she does.
As you all find yourselves back into your respective beds and ships and things, are the rest of you all staying at the Leering Eel?
I think Grimtuck would make his way back to the Black Princess eventually. Probably fall asleep on the deck of the ship.
You would find Amelia just like sitting on the, probably with the way the ship is parked on the map, probably like at the forecastle.
All right. I think there would probably be like a go sit next to Amelia, but no conversation, just kind of pass a bottle back and forth here and there, look out at sea, and then make my way to a flat spot on the ship and just kind of pass out.
Same
Totally
problem.
the only one staying in a nice.
I think Metolius would also be back on the ship. And then, like, at some point, Amelia just sees him come up out from below decks and then just, like, jump in the water and do, like, a lap or two around the boat. And then he would just pull himself up and go back down.
like rushed.
Wordlessly.
I just pictured it kind of like decathlon style. Like you're like in between exercises, like running to your next thing that you got to do.
I think he would come up and he'd look kind of sweaty and like out of breath. And then he'd just like walk to the side of the boat and take a leap off.
As we move from the night into the day, no watches are needed, as the entire town is once again back within the control of the Pirate King and all around. I think this would be a perfect time. Let's take our bio, and we'll move on from there.
Hey everyone, this is Dix. Sorry for interrupting our show, but I just wanted to take a quick second and let you know about some cool stuff that I've been up to. If you haven't heard of it yet, you should check out my other podcast, Help Action, where myself and 3 other professional dungeon masters answer your questions about D&D and offer our advice for running better games. You can check out the show and read up on articles and other advice that we provide on our website, www.help-action.com. Wanting to start a new D&D group and need someone to DM? At the same website, you can hire me to DM for your next group. Not looking for a full campaign? I do one-shots and short-term groups as well. You can find all the info you need about my DMing services at help-action.com. Also, be sure to keep an eye out for me as I'm gearing up to release my first original piece of D&D content that you can buy. I'll have more on that project in the next month or so. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter at JustTheDix for more updates and announcements just like that last one. Now that's enough of my bullshit. Let's get back to the show.
The sun rises upon Oceanshade. As it does, the fog is well set into the streets and across the actual harbor itself. You all find yourselves, as you do, in your respective points. Grimtuck, the sun feels warm as the morning dew kind of starts to evaporate off. Amelia, who may or may not have gone down below deck, had never slept, and you have continued reading your book.
Yep, she would have been up on the deck.
Yes, you all find yourselves upon the ship, waking up on your newly acquired home, as you were. The day is ahead of you. You had planned for a few things in town, but then, as you see, actually, as the dawn breaks, you notice a human kind of walks up the dock to the gangplank. And he kind of calls up and goes, ahoy!
Kind of look over the side.
Ahoy, state your business!
Ogden Sykes.
Hired Amelia is favored Amelia.
Yeah. Ogden Sykes sent over by Callus. Said you need a right-hand man when you weren't on the ship, and that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, come on up.
He kind of climbs up the gangplank, gets on, and starts like introducing himself. He has a large pack, as he does, and goes, says to be hired for as long as you need me, but I'm trustworthy. I know my way around a ship, and I know how to make sure people stay, on task, as it were.
Sounds good. You'll do. Welcome. I hold out my hand in the big Viking clasp. His name's Grimtuck.
Ogden. Pleasure.
Amelia's gonna hold her arm out for the same thing. Amelia Whitehot!
Ogden Sykes. Pleasure. And goes through, as he does. Next you hear a loud kind of ka-thunk as Ogden finishes up and kind of moves back and goes, anywhere I specifically need to put my stuff, or is it a first come, first serve on the room and board?
Captain's chambers are spoken for. But,
I figured.
Something a little further down the trough. I don't know if anybody's really picked out rooms.
How about I say if I don't see anyone's bag in there, I'll throw mine down and be fine with it?
Yeah, sure, it's probably fine.
Okay. And he walks off and goes down below deck. And again, you hear a similar kind of ka-thunk of like a large crate being placed. And looking over the side, you see what looks to be ebony black tiefling. As they're setting down, a bunch of people are bringing these large crates of things over, and he's kind of leading the pack and telling people where to go. And he goes, hail!
Hail and well met.
Name's Relentless? Relentless Zormir?
Wait, your name's Relentless or Zormir?
Let's start with Zormir, and I'll explain Relentless if you don't know how tiefling name works.
Alright, yeah. I like a good story. Come on board.
Okay.
Is Rain around?
Probably.
Rain, are you anywhere around? Oh, well, I'll wait till you're around and then ask you if you know anyone named Relentless. Apparently it's a
It's
common
like all
tiefling name.
tieflings know each other.
No, you made it seem like it's a common tiefling name. So...
So he gets up there, and he also seemingly brings a bunch of workers with him, as he does. And he kind of sets it down and goes, I was told you needed a cook. I've been looking to get off the island.
Yeah.
And
What's your specialty?
cooking.
Yeah, but like what kind of food do you do?
All kinds. I make a good curry, if you have the right ingredients. I also make sure that everyone on board a ship is fed and happy and healthy so that they can do their job.
Yeah, but you don't have like a specific like area that you specialize in, like,
I've been working in a pirate
like
cave.
Water Davy and barbecue, like, Baldur's Gate gravy and fries kind of a thing. Like, what do you got?
Baldur's Gate poutine.
Like specifically, like if I were to ask you, like what your best dish is that you make, what is it?
It's a nice red curry with cashews, and generally speaking, I use fish, but other forms of meat are good too.
All right, I like it. I love curry. It's gonna be a real farty trip, so just know that that's kind of the side effect for curry. So I just think we're just gonna hang out on the deck a lot. But yeah, I'm into it.
Thankfully, I was told that pay was good enough to Be fine. And anyways, just so you know, so the air is cleared, Relentless is my virtue.
Is your what?
Virtue name.
Virtue name?
Don't worry. Just call me Zormir.
All right. Cool. I was clear the air a pun on the fart thing.
I certainly hope so.
I mean, I like the crew to have a sense of humor, so feel free to, speak your mind.
Well, if you don't mind the farting too much, I also could brew a good ale when necessary, which does have a little bit of a pungent aroma to start off, but goes down quite well.
All right, so it's gonna be hard to sneak up on people if they're downwind, but we got this.
I mean, fucking good luck. No. And at the last, as multiple people are brought on, you see just a bunch of what look to be pretty basic crew hands coming through. Just a lot of just like humans, half elves, all different kinds, just coming through and kind of setting up. You see them taking positions, and you actually see Callus come out and kind of leading them all as he does. And he kind of walks up on deck and goes, "Just wanted to make sure you're all doing well with your new bunkmates.
Yeah.
I thought I'd send them your way now that we all talked about it last night. Have you seen your medical practitioner?"
I don't know if I have.
No, she should have been here. And you hear a kind of a very soft voice kind of part the air, and then for one moment, and then as soon as it doesn't seem to catch, you hear, "Get the fuck out of my way!" As like two pirates just like split out of the way, and this female gnome is just standing there right in the way with a large bag. Goes, "By the gods, let the oceans rise up and take him." And she walks over to Callus and goes, "I have no idea where you get any of these fools, but..." And Callus goes, kind of tilts his head over to you all, and goes, "Oh, I believe that you are my new bosses, correct? Captains of the ship, owners, and riders, and I heard you need someone with a bit of medical skills."
Hi. Put her there.
And she kind of reaches up. Do you bend down? If so,
Absolutely.
how far? Okay.
Yeah, I would bend down enough to shake her hand. I already liked the cut of her jib.
Excellent. Grenza Copperpatch.
Grenza?
Grenza.
Nice to meet you, Grenza. I'm Grim Tuck of the Shatter Chain tribe.
Again, I'm here. I can stitch up any wounds you need. I can make sure that people stay happy and healthy, as long as they don't piss me off.
Happy to have you on board. You'll probably die a horrible death, but in the meanwhile, we'll have a great fucking time.
No worse than dying a boring death over here.
I already like you, Grenza. I don't know if we're allowed to pick favorites yet, but I got dibs on Grenza.
And yeah, she kind of... Where do you think we can put up a medical room? Maybe someplace that I could take in anyone hurt in it?
I trust your judgment. Find the best room. It's conducive. It's not already either spoken for. If somebody doesn't like the room you take or they already got it, feel free to fight them for it. I like to establish these things early on.
Hell, just remember, if they piss me off, I'm making those stitches crooked.
Ha!
They should know better.
I was about to say, you're keeping these fuckwits alive. If you see one of them already in a room that you want, you kick them the fuck out.
I'll say that's the captain's orders. Thank you very much, y'all. And she does her little introductions to all of you. And she walks down below deck as the rest of the crew kind of filter through. You get a swarthy bunch, but
Nice.
nothing. Certainly enough to cover all your bases when it comes to all the positions that you need, plus a good amount of crew hands to do the work, so you're not just running around being you're the adventurers.
I'm excited that we have an eclectic crew and token humans.
And token humans.
It's great.
That's all the rest of the crew. That's it.
Just a bunch of
Bunch of
regular
humans.
jack-offs.
Just a bunch of humans.
But yeah, Callus goes, well, I'm happy you're seemingly enjoying your new crew. Wanted to make sure they got here because I remember us talking last night that you'd be leaving, as soon as you could.
Yeah, we got one more stop to make, which is to go drop off some coin and then be about our business.
Okay, well, do that. I'll make sure that I'm around before you leave,
Oh, okay.
just in case.
Sounds good.
Hey, I want to see you off. You did us such a service, it'd be rude for me to go and let you go without saying goodbye.
I appreciate it. I mean, if you're feeling thankful or grateful or whatever you want to say, maybe just build a statue in our honor. Put it in the center of the town. You know? I think that'd be a good start.
Sure,
you know-
I'll just put the polar bear out there.
Sorry, what? I didn't hear that.
I said, I'll just put the polar bear out there. I'll make sure it's got a label that says Grimtalk.
Yeah. Fuck, we still gotta put this goddamn skull up somehow. Well, hold on. I think, I'll tell you what. I think all of us need to go drop off some coin while the rest of the crew gets situated. You guys, let's take a walk over here to these temples and see that we pay these folk.
You thinking it best if we all go?
Yeah, I kind of want to have just some words amongst the group real quick.
Think it's best to leave a fresh crew on a ship with no sort of leadership.
I think they know the pecking order. Yeah.
Ogden kind of chimes up at that as he walks back up onto deck and goes, don't you worry, miss. I'll make sure these useless piles of crap keep themselves in order. And he kind of goes, right, man? And everyone chimes back, aye!
Fair warning.
They all try
Fair warning, Ogden. If you call her miss, she'll pluck your eye out of your fucking head.
Not a problem, Amelia. I won't make that mistake again.
Don't you fucking forget it.
I like my eyes where they are, miss. Damn it.
Alright, well, I guess it's time to be entering your keep then.
You see him put a hand up over one of his eyes, just like, eh.
All right.
And then flows it into a salute. That was what he intended the whole time. Okay, so yeah, he gets on deck and gets everyone working and making sure everything's all ready.
Okay. Does everybody decide to roll down off the ship with me?
I'm good. Yeah.
Yep.
I would wait until we're outside of earshot, and then I'm just gonna while we're walking the direction, be like, "Oh fuck, guys. I don't want to assume or anything, but someone's gonna need to be the captain. It's just kind of how this shit works. It's not really a committee basis sort of a thing. And I didn't want to assume it would be me. I don't need it to be, but I don't know. I totally realized that we forgot to pick a fucking captain.
Oh, I just assumed it would be whoever dealt the killing blow to the dragon.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I just thought
I don't
want to
be a dick.
You, silly.
If it's back home, I'd be like, yeah, I'm the captain because I fucking killed everybody who wanted to be captain. But we're all fucking friends, and I figured, offer it up. Look, that's a sore memory for me because none of you guys wanted to murder everybody so I could be Pirate King. So let's not trudge up bad. We would have fucked. We did that.
We were
to fucking
hopelessly
dragon.
outnumbered.
Anyway, guys, you're just gonna upset me. I just woke up. It's just gonna be grumpy. Just anyways.
I be having no interest in the pot.
All right, so Amelia doesn't want it. Doesn't sound like Metolius does either, I guess. Elduin? Sure.
Here.
All right. So then comes the question of, I've done this job. That'd be like me being like, hey, Metolius, don't fuck up walking through the woods 100 times. You've done it a bunch. It's just not gonna, you'll be fine. You fucking dick.
It's true, I have.
No, all right. I need a first mate. In that case. Anybody want to fucking take on the job.
Well, remind me what a first
Basically,
mate does.
You're like the person that also yells at the crew. If the captain dies or is incapacitated, then you're the captain. You're sort of like the understudy, but also you're like, if the captain's the voice, then the fucking first mate is the one that gets shit done. It's kind of like an apprenticeship almost. Like you learn to be the captain.
Well, I am, I don't know, good at providing encouragement, and I am very persuasive, but Amelia here is clearly owned up to the part of pirate very well in our time.
It'd be just that, a pot.
Yes, I think Amelia would do well as this first mate, as you say.
All right, Amelia, I think you just got voted first mate.
I don't know, yo. I don't know. It's...
I don't know.
Well,
yo.
that's not exactly a first mate reply. So, you know what? Fuck it. Rain, you're the first mate. That's exactly the YOLO.
She doesn't want the responsibility. It's clearly the best choice.
Look, you two stole the fucking ship for us. When are you gonna help me run it? If Amelia doesn't want it, all right. That's what it is.
I don't know that I'd be fitting the pot.
Well,
you seem to be fitting the part pretty well.
All right. That's all I wanted.
I don't plan on playing it forever.
All right, then. I'll just help out where I can.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be hard to keep up. Cool. Sorry, I was just embarrassed to have that conversation in front of the crew that we never really make the captain.
I thought you were worried that someone was going to try to steal your dragon skull.
Oh, yeah, good luck. That would suck. Oh, do you think that could happen? Should we go back?
Oh, it would be the greatest caper that ever was pulled off. That's for sure. They'd probably keep it underground with some kind of giant penny.
That'd be sick.
A giant copper piece.
Electro.
Yeah. The best metal in D&D.
Word. So you guys continue to walk through the streets, discussing the hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
The hierarchy.
Shut up. That's okay.
Yes.
So yeah, where, as you all walk through, where did you wish to go?
Go to the temples. We're gonna drop off some gold.
Yeah. I will go to the Temple of Talos because I have this axe that's Talos adjacent, so...
Cool. I'll do Umberly, and we could split up however we need to just to save time.
Okay.
Mentolius, I'll give you, from the fucking portable hole, I'll give you, you decide on 200 or 250?
We decided on 200 each.
200. Cool. I will mark off 200.
400. It's 200 each.
No, 200 for you, 200 for me.
Right. Well, good thing we have 2 days to count up all this coin and split it among ourselves. And, well, what if we sent some back to Firelit? Because, they probably need the funds. Marabi was trying to do something with magic weapons and probably needs the money.
I mean, Silence can take
Silence hasn't left yet. Hop's still in the bay.
Maybe we should give them some gold to take back. We have way more than we'll ever need.
I mean, what if we ever wanted to buy, another ship? Then we need it.
I mean, I think you could buy a whole fleet of ships with the gold that we have and still have quite a bit left over.
We're gonna have to kill another dragon if we do that. We only have one skull.
Oh. Well, shouldn't the flagship have the signature item,
I thought it was like a branding thing. All right, yeah. You're good call. Good call. You're right.
Well, you could have dragon aesthetics sprinkled throughout the rest of the fleet.
We don't want to overdo it. I think it'd just be cliche at that point. Really, it loses the impact. No. Feels
3 is right out.
Small dragon accoutrements. That's when it gets too It's like the ladies that have the little like figurines all throughout the house, and it gets really weird. It'd be like that. All right, Metolius, what are you thinking as far as like how much should we send back?
I don't know. Maybe like 2,000.
I'm fine with that. What does everybody else think?
Here.
All right.
I'll mark it off.
All right.
I mean, we haven't got rid of it yet, but I'm just marking it off now.
Right.
Guess we're gonna. All right. Who wants to go with me to Umberlee?
I'll go. Oh,
Cool.
we got a crew.
Sounds like it.
Rolling
you-
deep.
You two are going to Timora? We'll go.
Talos.
Talos, that's hard to say. Not Timora. Timora is gambling. But that's cool too.
Yep.
Don't send me there with 35,000 gold.
All right.
Word.
Let's-
So I would say Umberlee would be first and the closest. So as you break off between the two of you, the Grimtuck's group, heads over to the Temple of Umberlee, the half-embedded ship in the ground. Matt still sticking up a giant set of double doors carved into the deck of the ship.
Just walk right on in like we own the place.
Mm-hmm. As you open it up, you find that there are a small selection of just like stone benches, and then in the very center seems to be a wide pool of what almost looks to be like drawn seawater. Torches all around, and a few what you can only believe to be clerics in the back in this kind of very simple blue tunic with like a long like green robes around it. The symbol of Unreally, this like, the split wave, rests not only in detail around the area but also upon all of the practitioners there at the moment. You see what looks to be a few interesting items around it all seem to be part of the same like ritual, things like sickles and tridents and things like that. All weapon-like, but possibly just for the actual ritual itself. And you see a woman who looks to be probably human, just from the quick outward appearance, kind of stand up and go, "Yes, how may I assist you? Did you wish to ask for favor of the Bitch Queen?"
We come to buy favor from the good bitch queen, as much as we can, actually. The great queen of the sea, as she's also known. We set forth on a journey. We'd like favorable winds and to have, not to be drowned at sea or have giant tentacles come up and rip us apart or, just normal, terrible things.
And what do you offer to hold her favor?
I'll just start unloading, like, it just piles of up to 200 gold. Just plink, until I just offload.
As you start to pull out coins, she motions over to one of the other individuals. This one looks to be possibly halfling. They run over a chest and place it down and open it up. And as she kind of accepts that, she goes through and counts it as she goes and places it into the chest. She goes, "Excellent. May our prayers guide your way. By chance, did you wish to have someone travel with you to make sure the rough seas stay calm?"
Look to the rest of the crew. Look back to her. Yeah, I mean, that might be useful. I don't know. How much does that kind of thing cost?
Another 200 gold would be good.
You guys want to buy a cleric? I mean, like, it's not like we can't afford it, but, like... Alright, I'll turn back to the lady. Like, is it gonna be, like, just mostly, like, I don't know, like, prayer stuff, or is it gonna actually do like tangible things? Like, what can you do? I don't mean to be rude. I'm just not that smart.
You see her turn around, and as she does, she grasps upon the symbol on her chest and holds out her hand. Words of an ancient speech that seem familiar but yet so far away just echo through these halls. And she holds her hand up, and out from the pool rises a form in this almost regal looking woman of pure water. Just rises up, and this form travels over and reaches down at you, Grimtuck, and kind of puts her hand right in front of your face. And just as she's about to like cover your face and in turn put you underwater, you see through this clear form the cleric's hand just kind of like wrench back, and the whole form like breaks apart into just arcs of liquid that flow right back into the pool.
Alright, that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, sure. Normally we should discuss this with the group, but the group's not all here. So, look at you guys. What do you guys think?
There will be an upkeep charge as well. 200 to rent one of our clerics, but they do need money to survive and keep the favor on your side.
Yeah, what does that run? Because, like, obviously food's included. We already got to cook, and, we can figure that out.
10 gold a day.
Oh, fuck. That's a lot. I think we might just have to write off the favor that we just bought for 200. 10 gold a day is a lot of money. I can't really sign off on that one. You know what? I'll tell you what. If we change our mind, we know where to find you.
Well, and she kind of like places the hand down and closes the coffer. As she does and goes, the Queen's favor does lean towards you for now. May
Awesome.
the seas be restful.
I was hoping. They ain't cheap. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Thank you much for your time.
You just see the halfling kind of run back with the box out of sight. She goes, may your sails be full and the waters not be choppy.
Yeah, and you too. Alright, bye. And that's that. Turn around and leave.
Okay. The rest of you find your way to a much more traditional looking temple. This on high, carved into the stone above the door, 3 lightning bolts of green, blue, and red jaggedly sit as though emanating out from the door itself.
Just push open the door. Like I own the place to some degree.
Oh yeah, Amelia's strolling in like we own the place for sure.
As you do, you find a much more traditional looking temple in itself. Here, individuals in black robes with jagged lines of gold and silver running through them all kind of pray to this statue in the center. A fire lights almost what look to be black clouds kind of roil through the ceiling. You can't tell if that's from smoke from the fire or something else. But as they turn, you notice what looks to be a tall staff with a large ship's bell upon it, off in the corner. I would say from hearing it, you might recognize this to be that bell sound you've heard through the streets. And I think you've seen them at a distance before.
Makes sense.
As you walk in, one of the clerics turns and goes, "What brings you into the halls of Talos?"
I have gained Talos' favor as I reveal this axe to him, and I wish to gain more. We are about to travel across the ocean, and we wish for safe, speedy travel, free of storms. And so we come to the Temple of the Storm Lord.
I see he has granted you a small fraction of his power.
Indeed.
Well, and brother, you are welcome within these halls. Your companions are as well. What is it you bring to the Storm Lord's halls to curry more of this favor?
Cold, hard currency. As I...
He kind of chuckles at that sentence, that statement, and goes, yes. An excellent way of granting it.
I just heft a hefty bag of gold, and I just shake it a bit to jingle all the coins and, send the clearest message as possible.
He takes the bag and kind of palms it and kind of feels around. He goes, looks in, pulls out the fact that they're gold. Takes a quick bite on one. I would say the skies would deem it clear now. For travel, if I'm not mistaken, generally one does not procure such favor while they stay in town.
I see. Well, that's good. Thank you, brother.
May the clouds above you not shine or strike you down.
And to you.
Yeah.
He kind of looks, and as he finishes taking the pouch, he just slips it into his robes and it is gone. And as he does, he kind of turns back around and leaves you to it. You notice as he walks back over, he seems to make a remark to someone, and as he does, that person opens a large tome and writes something down into a book.
Got it. A ledger. A divine ledger. All right. Well, that was easy, and I guess we leave.
Yeah. Follow him out.
All right. Well, as you leave, I would say the collective of you meet up past the fish market that kind of sits between the two of these temples. Is there anything else you wish to do before we move on to the Black Princess?
Drop off gold to Silence.
Okay.
But I don't know if we need to do too much there. We're just dropping it off and being like, here's, feed the kids or whatever.
Feed the kids.
Feed the kids.
1,000 gold.
or don't. Whatever.
Arm the children. Arm them.
Feed the kids and then arm them.
Who's the real bad guys here?
Just give them the gold, give her the gold and say, take care of the younglings.
Arm the younglings.
Yes.
Yeah, let's not say take care. It could be taken away.
Yeah, take care.
Somebody kind of did take it that way, but yeah. Yeah.
You all meet her. She comes down and meets you at the docks, and you pass the gold off to her, and she goes, "I will make sure that it is used wisely within the Firelight. This is a great boon. But yes, do have safe travels. May the seas stay calm for you. And may the winds blow you all back to us soon."
Yep, same to you. I gotta get my sea phrases back, guys. It's been a long time. I used to have really good ones, but I forgot a lot of them. So yeah, it's gonna be awkward for the start. Just let everybody know. I'll get into it. I'll get back in the swing of it. It's gonna take a minute. May the winds be forever at your sails, in the sails.
At your back, I believe.
Yeah, but you're on a ship. So like, sails. It pushes it with the wind. Fuck. All right, we'll come back to this. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yes. Anyway.
Yep.
Before we leave the harp, I want to do something. And I would just get Silence's attention as everyone else is sort of moving away.
Mm-hmm.
And I approach and, Silence, I have a favor to ask of you. I'm not sure when we'll be back in Firelit Thicket, and there's something I wanted to do, and I was wondering if you could do it for me.
She kind of looks at you and quizzically, but goes, I'm guessing most likely. What can I do for you?
I'm going to reach down to my belt, and I'm going to take the pouch of Hawk's ashes, and I'm going to put it in her hand, and I'm going to say, this is all that remains of Hawk, and I wanted to give them a proper burial. So I was wondering if you would take these ashes back and plant them in Father Oak somewhere. With a tree, perhaps.
She takes a deep breath and takes the ashes into her hands and goes, I think you deserved it. Thank you for holding on to these.
Absolutely. They definitely deserved it.
I'll make sure he's ferried home.
Thank you. Also, Silence.
Yes.
I will make sure she comes back. I will die before I let her die.
She kind of breaks eye contact with the pouch, and you see just a little grin on the side of her face. And she kind of looks up at you and then looks out to the sea and goes, just make sure you all come back. How about that?
We will. I have a good feeling about this. But until then.
And she kind of puts her hand for that kind of clasping.
Just know that she's in good hands. And we will be thinking of you often.
It's good. I will I will be ecstatic to see you all return.
Until we meet again.
Till we do.
That is all I want to do. I would rejoin the party as we make our way to the Black Princess to sail.
Mm-hmm. And Silence climbs onto the harp. And as she does, you hear her call out for sails down, anchor up. And as you do, you hear that kind of rush of sound as sails are filled with air. And the groan of wood as the ship is pulled and starts to head out to sea.
We should be doing the same.
Indeed. Let's get to it.
All right. Head back.
Board our ship.
Yeah, you all board your ship. It seems as though Ogden has done quite a good job. All of it seems in order as you return.
How does the dragon skull look on the ship?
Did we actually get...
That's what I was getting at. Do we actually have it?
I would say that was already a plan. Well, yeah, because the dragon skull was taken away. No, by the time you guys return, they have already attached the dragon skull to the front of the ship. That was the plan. You see it is lashed and connected to the actual around the
Does it look dope as hell?
Of course it does. On the front of a ship.
It is a rotting dragon skull. Wait, no, we had we had the tanners and shit pull chunks off of it, pull the skin off of it and stuff.
Surprisingly quick work too. Luckily, there's a few magic users in town that have a little bit aid in that kind of situation.
Dope.
But no, you see the bowsprit kind of like stick straight through the the hole in the nostrils of the actual skull. So it sits there almost like just the mouth just open enough so it's roaring.
Dope.
Man, that's like a tanner's dream job because you just get all the fucking scales for free.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, by the way, here's a job and also it's your retirement. So have fucking fun in your new
Exactly.
fancy house.
That's kind of what you offered, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. I don't give a shit.
Word.
Cool. All right. Well, is Callus there? I know he wanted to see us off.
Callus is. Actually, he's on the dock with Damocos. Just the two of them kind of standing there. He seemed to come up right behind you.
You said he comes up right behind us?
No, he seemed to like come up the dock right behind you. He didn't actually like walk up the plank or anything.
Okay.
He just kind of calls out and goes, "Well, y'all will be safe now. Make sure to come back. You always have a place to dock that ship and stay in town."
Yep. And if you ever decide to get your sea legs back and come out and join the fight, feel free to look us up. We'll be out there kicking the shit out of the other ones. And I'll hold out my hand and just kind of laugh. And
I think there's a few things in the works that will allow us to do so very soon.
well, put her there.
You walk down to the dock to see him off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He reaches up and goes, "Grimduck, you son of a..." No. He reaches up and shakes your hand and goes, "I'm impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I think I said that last night, too."
Well, you know, you're drunk. You can say it again. But I'm impressed too. You put together a nice little situation for yourself here, Pirate King. So, you know, hold on to it tight. Maybe by the time that we're done kicking the shit out of the other ones and winning this war, you know, might come back and encourage you into early retirement. Just kind of give him a little wink.
And I know you mean it's over my cold dead body, but I think that should be stated.
And with that, I'll turn around and head back up after shaking his hand and
Yeah,
get ready to take the fuck off.
Walking down the dock with Damocos close behind. Doesn't like stand there, watch you off. Doesn't need to.
Yeah.
As Ogden kind of comes up to you and goes, "Captain, everything's ready."
All right. Pull anchor, set sail, motherfuckers. We got a war to win.
As you do, the anchor rises, the sails unfurl, the ship creaks just the same, and you are out of Oceanshade. A few moments later and back onto the open ocean.
Sweet.
Fucking A.
Fucking A.
I just get up to the railing and just acquire 1,000-yard stare.
I mean, you know, it's not, I can do a mile, but it's not a competition.
You're right, it isn't.
So, if there is nothing anyone would like to do specifically as you travel, I'm gonna move this a little faster forward.
And maybe get to know the crew.
Yeah, let me ask that. Over the course of the next 2.5 days, what are you all doing?
Same with Rain. I would just establish the fact that I'm the captain. I would be pretty loud about it. I would get to know the crew, but only like a little bit. Not enough to where I have to interact with them too much. Like, I would invent just horrible nicknames for them, while Rain would probably learn their actual names. Except for the doctor. I would make a point to get pissed drunk with the doctor at least once.
Sounds good.
She's the bones to my Kirk.
Damn it, Grimduck.
That's all I got. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. Wait, shit.
So for the first day, like after we have left, Amelia is going to be playing up the pirate spot super hard, trying to like work the crew, learn it, like make it look like she knows what she's doing on the ship. But then that night, when everybody goes to sleep, they just wake up and find her like as her normal self on the deck the next morning, out of the pirate garb, back in her normal clothes, normal appearance, mask on.
I think there's probably a few questions, but it very quickly is stifled, as because your equipment's the same, right? Like
my outfit would change, but like all the gear that I'm wearing and stuff is the same. Yeah.
So, I think, as the pirates are ones to do, not ask too many questions. Kind of see it happen. See you on the deck. Maybe one or two are like, but it is squashed quickly. Okay, Amelia's back to regular Amelia. Elduin, Metolius, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be doing my best to like figure out where we are. Maybe like, start looking at the stars at night and just trying to do a little bit of like syncing up, drawing diagrams.
Mm-hmm. And there's captain's quarters, so there's places to lay out the map and like discuss the next few days as you go, plan where you'll be and kind of how this all is working. So you'll have that time, absolutely. Metolius?
It's like Goku going to Namek, the below deck. Just going ham.
I think at one point or another, Ogden would kind of walk to you, Grimtug, and go, "Is he always like that?"
Yeah, he'll bench press anyone on this ship. Ask him. I promise you. Fucking ask him every time he walks by. Like, challenge him to a push-up contest. Like, literally anytime he tries to do anything. Because once you get the whole crew in on it and they're all asking him, he's not going to say no to anybody. So, like,
Jesus Christ.
He's always like this, ever since the day I met him.
Awesome. Okay. He goes, wow, that's insane. Hey, but you know what? Some people are like that.
Yeah, he's just really intense. I don't know. Like,
no shade.
I think he's what they call a try-hard. I don't really know.
Wow.
That's a hot take right there.
Wow. Wow. Aren't all paladins tryhards, though?
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, but like, I'm telling you, just every time, ask him if he wants to have a push-up contest.
I think over the course of the 2 days, and the course of you doing this.
Actually, even better, I would tell him that I'll offer a 50 gold bounty to any man that can do more push-ups than him. But I'm like, you have to talk him into having the contest first, and then you got to see who goes the longest.
I think a few people try over the course of this trip, but in the fact that you've been prepping for this book and you've been doing this like this, and you're fucking like everyone else in the group, a grade A adventurer. Not one of them.
Plus, I'm just a tiny bit lucky.
One of them beats you.
You know, I'm helping you out, bro. Motivation.
So yeah.
No,
so
you don't get anything. They get it if they beat you.
Oh no. Well, as soon as I learned that I'm not getting anything, I change it around, and I'm just betting people 50 gold that they can't. That I can do more.
None of these guys have 50 gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say a few people definitely like back off on the challenge at that point because that's a little bit pricey for them.
Oh, fine. I'll just do it. Whatever. Let's go. I'm still gonna kick your ass.
And you know, there's a couple that are close, but most of them are just you're doing this in armor half the time. Like they got nothing on you. Yeah.
Various stages. Sometimes I'm just in a breastplate with no shirt underneath.
Yeah, just start cocking in a breastplate.
No. Yeah.
Oh, that's the grossest push-up contest ever.
I'm definitely not.
You're booping the ground.
Dude, the Swabby is just like having a shit fit every time.
Oh.
Like, are you fucking kidding? This again?
Some more fucking mushroom stamps on my clean deck.
Oh no, there's no. Metolius is not shirt cocking the boat. Nice try.
But by day 2, I believe.
I have to spend 48 hours, so I'm exhausted,
Yeah.
and I will sleep the rest of the way. But
I think it would. I think you probably wouldn't have much else to do over the course of the next 2.5 days, plus the time you spent before that.
that's true. All right, I'm doing it, clicking it. Oh my god, 22 strength. Oh my god, so swole.
You do notice that after those 2 days, or after those 48 hours, after Metolius is finished reading the book, that there is just there are actual physical gains. You see it. Metolius looks different. It's a good book.
It's a good book that no one can read for 100, or no one can use for 100 years.
Might be able to use this one time someday. Just keep it in the family.
Ooh, I was gonna give it to Marabi, but I think I would give it to Eldwin.
Oh yeah, Eldwin is the only person that would be able to read it and get gains.
Yeah.
my friend, Eldwin.
Yeah,
come
yes,
here.
yes.
He's holding the book with one finger. Just
this book right here
Looks
is
very heavy.
Very helpful. Oh, it's not very heavy at all now, but at first it was.
Yes. What do you plan to do with the book?
Now I can do 2 cock push-ups. I'm just kidding.
Why are you pushing up a rooster?
Because it needed it.
makes sense.
We all have our needs, and this rooster needed it. So, well, anyway, I believe from your spell that you cast on this book, you said that the magic would return in 100 years. Well,
Yes.
we'll all probably be dead by then, except for you. So,
That is true. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
are you sure? Because it's so heavy, you might not be able to lift it.
I will say. Let's us find out here. Put it on the ground there.
Justin, you love it. Don't even.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm very interested in this. If you are willing to part with it.
Oh, definitely. I think I've got all I'm going to get out of this book for now. It's all yours, my friend. I hope that in 100 years it brings you much gains.
Thank you. I will stash that. Depleted Manual of Hell? Wait, what's it called?
Gainful exercise.
Manual of Gainful Exercise.
So, a few things you've seen over the course of this bit of travel. As you make it past the still existing whirlpool, the glow exists down in the very base of it, even now. And that is this, in the very center, between the 3 islands, Sintar, Uridanto, and Dakatur, there is a ever-present whirlpool that glows with this ethereal beauty. It seems to be at the very bottom of the ocean. You skirt around it. Land is seen a day or so into the travel. And at that you see high sheer cliffs with no seemingly way up, but at the very top, a gigantic fortress that spans an incredibly large area. Walls, and you see the actual towers beyond it rising high. It sits on the edge and corner of the northwestern corner of Dakatur. As far as you can tell, this may actually be Arthur's citadel. This may be Esterden. It is much more fortified than I think has been explained, and the walls traveled farther than you would expect. As you get here, about a day and some change into travel, Rain, I'd like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw. Okay. As your travels continue, you curve around. You see the break about halfway through this next day. You see the break within the island itself. That northwest corner that splits and goes down to where the Verdant Catacombs was pointed out. And continue forward. The seas here get choppier, and if you look through any form of lens or spyglass, far to the north you see just almost a wall of cloud and fog. Black, jutting spears of stone rise from the sea itself. But that still is kind of ringed by that same ever-present barrier. To the south of you, from here, you see a large mountain range that ends in the ocean itself. By the end of the day, and well into the evening past dark, you've made it here. On the middle section of the island of Dakatur, once again on the coastal edge, far off, you see, and you're actually, it's called out, another large fortress, this one with an exceptionally sized naval component. Large black ships. And these are but specks on the horizon, but the land you see from where you are, just barely enough to be able to see this huge assortment of vessels. But by the time day has broke, you are past that area. You have most likely passed winter. Ahead of you, around noon on that second day, and while Metolius has gained his gainful gains, a small fishing village cut into the side of these tall mountain ranges on the northeastern side of the kind of arm that reaches up the top of Dakatur Island. Small boats that are no more than slightly larger than row, like small fishing vessels, ones you saw like at Ostwald, but even smaller still, troll out into the ocean around you. You see a few faces quizzical as you look over the side, but at this moment ahead of you sits Stormhaven, this small, out of the way, but safe bastion in the midst of the Eterwine's land. And as you pull in, well, far out, but as you prepare to drop anchor, I think that's where we're going to call it for now.
Woo! All right. Real quick, what do we know to be the extent of the Eterwine's domain?
As far as you know, most, if not all, of Dakatur is under their watchful eye.
Okay, even like Kerdarom and Saltshear.
I mean, you know that Saltshear is basically just a blasted heath. It is, from what you as far as you can tell, no one has said that Saltshear has ever been rebuilt.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Kerdarom, as far as you can tell, is an ancient dwarven city. You don't know if it is still in use, but it has been a very long time, and it has seemed to have no activity that has been talked of.
Okay.
But other places, obviously Gaskiln, Greyhurst, Moorbeach, Aldkeep, and the latter, all have all are lands owned by the Eterwine, though policed by them, mayhaps not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. All
And
right.
especially if you're going to ask any of the Eterwines, they own all of the Eterwines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna ask them just the next time I see them. I figured
Yeah.
that was. Yeah.
Hey,
You
what
should-
all
you
this
should
shit
have-
do you own?
You
Yeah.
should actually have Grimtuck axe them,
That's what I do.
No, maul them.
maul them. Yes, you
Maul
should have
them.
Grimtuck maul them.
Maul them a question. It does have a ring to it.
It does.
Yeah. I like them balls.
But yeah. Well, y'all, we'll pick this up next time.
Hey, it's Dix again. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Swordcast Adventures. For more on the cast and crew, as well as maps and other extra goodies, you can check out our website at www.swordcastadventures.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at the Swordcast. To show some extra support, you can sign up for our Patreon, where only $5 a month will get you access to our Tomb of Annihilation show, DM'd by Matt Allspot. That's all we've got for now, but our next episode will be releasing Monday, January 4th. Take care for now and stay safe out there.